What is up, team? Welcome back to headquarters. We got a late night episode of the Propaganda Factory. Um, Sorry, quite frankly. I'll always say sorry, but I've been working hard nonetheless, just doing some different things, putting some energy just in a little bit of different type of motion with that at the top of the show. I just want to make sure to advertise that we have the Propaganda Factory album coming out. That's right, we have the Propaganda Factory album, 10 tracks that we put together. Really, the heart and soul of the Propaganda Factory, a little bit of me, a little bit of us, a little bit of everything that's going on in the world. And just something to kind of get us in the feels, get us in the moment. We have our first single coming out June 5th. That's really exciting. So we are going to be ramping up. Unfortunately, when you do it all, it is a little exhausting. So making the music, getting everything up to speed, making sure that we are production quality, and then doing all the PR and all of that. And part of that is we have to get the podcast going. We have to get all of the platforms going. We have to get everything going and pumping again. Because like I said, even though it was taking time away, it was not necessarily not doing anything because, the music, it all goes hand in hand. It's all content. It all helps to make sure that we are on every platform. And even though I stepped away, we've still gained substantial followers on Facebook, and we seem to be trickling a little bit here on TikTok and on all the platforms we're gaining. Substack has been gaining, so we have been seeing progress. But with that, I wanted the podcast, I wanted it to be at least coming back, friendly. I wanted it to be, not just me talking at y'all. Felt like that was a lot of it before, but we said some things. We had a good time. But the music is going to be real fun for that. But I wanted to make sure that we had friends that could come up and talk. And so we have some scheduled guests. Tonight we have Dr. Greg, which Dr. Greg is ready to come up. We also have, we're going to have East Coast at Notes tomorrow. We should be live tomorrow. Oh, you know what? I have to make sure. I'm going to have to wake up early. I forgot. He's ahead of me. I have to confirm he's the right time. But nonetheless, Dr. Greg tonight. How are you, my friend?
What's up, dude? How's it going?
I like how lately you've been doing the muscle shirts. It really gives, like anti RFK vibes.
I'm wearing jeans right now too, bro. There you go. Freaking
If I could
ready
go
to
pour a
go to the
glass of
gym.
milk, we could get this party started. But
I do think like we have to steal back masculinity because these guys are so soft. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
their
yeah.
joke, man. You know.
No, I
So
get it.
I really do feel like it's like this is insane. Like all these young guys and stuff, they're actually being swept up like in this stuff, and it's like it's sad. So if like this, we gotta talk about it. We freaking lift weights here too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I seen you.
so.
I seen you've been pumping that iron, man. You've been doing some good, having some good lives. I'd be popping in and watching every now and then. Sometimes even on my
Thanks, man.
burner accounts because I'm not always on this account. I'd be going kind of incognito because the algorithms, the way that they work and whatnot. Yeah, you can reset your
Yeah.
algorithm, but they kind of like know who you are. So I like to use fresh
Hmm.
accounts and whatnot, and take research. That's how I started this whole thing, and it's really helped me kind of learn
Hmm.
a lot over time. But yeah, no,
Thanks,
it's been
man.
a good time watching you because it's just it's real fun. Like I said with the muscle shirts and whatnot recently. Um, for those of you who do not remember, Dr. Greg,
Mhm.
we met him last year in some of our creator recruiting campaigns just to kind of connect people, finding like-minded individuals with platforms who were, saying the right types of things that we like to hear. And, especially over time, Dr. Greg has been, someone that I've enjoyed, just talking to. He's a good guy. Someone that I would even say over this time period has become, my friend over the internet. Um,
For sure. I was just talking to my wife about that. I was like, no, I was like, bro, we would hang out. You know what I mean? We would be hanging out.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It's so funny, man. You just know sometimes. Yeah, I don't
That's
know. It's
part of
just, it was like,
why that's part of why the music, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's part of why I made the
yes,
music,
dude.
is because it all goes hand in hand. Not only can we have the political movement, the rallies, the people coming together, but I'm trying to create as many engines as possible to have us be able to come together, essentially, and
Hmm.
have a good time. When you really think about it, uh, it could turn into some things. Nice little concert, nice little rave, a nice little time. Give some speeches, have a bunch of people come
One
out,
second.
touring across the country and stuff like that. Um, that's my goal, especially with the music dropping, is to be able to set up shows across the country. Not only as a person trying to speak, but someone throwing parties, having a good time with their own music, getting some good streams, all of that. Um, can you hear? Are you good now?
Yeah, yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, well, speaking of that, man, like, we just today, man, I haven't told anyone this. This is like brand news. We just voted today in like the bylaws for our 501(c)(3 foundation.
Yeah.
So we like it's like official now. We're doing the form and we're going to be submitting that. We've been working on it for like 6 months. So it's crazy. I really want to do like an event, dude.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
national, like a wide event where we can like um because if like Turning Point USA and all these other places can
Absolutely.
do it, why can't we, bro? You
Absolutely,
know what I
we
mean?
can,
Like, come
we
on.
can. And so think about this,
Yeah.
Dr. Greg. You're building this engine right now for your own mechanisms to do events. So think about all of the people that we've met. Think about the people that we have in the group chat, the other friends that we've made along the way, all of these platforms that we have that we've built across the country that we're going to be able to tap into and essentially use to bolster the things that we need to accomplish. It looks like you disappeared on me. I don't know what happened there, Dr. Greg, but it
I'm
is
here. I'm
cool.
here. Sorry, I had to
Oh,
grab
okay.
my. I got you. I got you.
Oh, is it your camera? What happened?
Oh, I just had to rescue the dog. It's hard to explain.
I don't know. Oh,
We're
I
going into
can't.
the
It's okay.
darkness for the kids.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go. We're back.
Okay, so you were in a dark room. I was about to say, like, what the heck?
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah.
but yeah, so you look at all the platforms that we have access to across the country, as we all continue to grow. Not only the Propaganda Factory Network, but we have just so many people on their own merit that are just creators doing their own things, and that's essentially what the Propaganda Factory Network is just creators doing their own things, building themselves up, but loosely affiliating with other like-minded people to come together and try to figure out what can we do to be more effective, because exactly like Dr. Greg said, if Turning Point USA can do these clown things, if RFK Jr. and Kid Rock can get on there shirtless and drink milk and go to the spa, uh, I think we can have some
Yeah.
fun too. And so that's my vision, especially with the Propaganda Factory album and that project, is to provide just another one of those engines to give us a reason to assemble, because I think personally, um, maybe I don't want to exaggerate anything, but it seems like uh things are getting a little dangerous. Like every day things are kind of getting, he's ratcheting down in some ways. Um Even though, we're having, I mean, look, I live in a red state. Our rights just got stripped like significantly personally.
It's
Um
real bad, dude. It's real. It's crazy. Like you basically, as long as the bill doesn't say like we are doing this for blank people fill in the race, like they're basically any type of institutional racism is completely okay now. It is wildly crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason I wanted to make sure to start speaking again, speaking publicly on the internet, doing this. Um as an educated black man, I mean, I feel like it is somewhat my duty to speak up in this face of oppression, this gerrymandering wave that we have. Because, I'm not going to lie, this is kind of a both sides problem, but especially right now in the conservative South, we're seeing it. And what I don't understand, especially, is that in the South, we've lived under conservative rule for 150 plus years, and majority of the Southern institutions are absolutely failing in every capacity. Last in education, last in healthcare, last in infrastructure, last in any ability to provide a decent lifestyle for any people without them absolutely slaving. So with that being said, I don't understand why we continue down this road. Um, and so again, like I said, as an educated black man, I felt like it is somewhat my duty to make sure I have this platform. I need to make sure to speak up against what is happening. And with that, I want to point out right now in Louisiana, they have the recall campaign. Personally, I am not involved in any aspect of that. I didn't want anyone to get the wrong impression as if I have some hand in that or anything. But what I'm doing is making sure to make people know that it is happening. I want everyone across the country to know that it's happening. And I especially want the people in the state, registered voters, to know that it's happening so that they can participate. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are not liking what the governor Jeff Landry is doing, and there's also a recall campaign for the attorney general. And this was a response to the Supreme Court decision in was it Calais, Calais v. I just say Louisiana. Honestly, I think it was, but yeah, with these maps all across the South. And then we see the response in Virginia get struck down from the Supreme Court. It's these conservative courts,
With
man.
the quickness,
I tell you
the
what,
quickness that they just shot it down, like the democratically constructed map, dude. It's like what? Like of all the ones, I don't know. It's just
the
yeah, the reasoning
quickness,
doesn't make any sense.
the quickness in which they can enact laws to brutalize brown bodies is just absolutely. I think that is the most fundamental tenet of America, is that when it comes to the brutalization of brown bodies, when it comes to the diminishing of political voices, that is one thing that this country excels in from its very inception. And it took generations to get what we have, and it's really being stripped away from us. And so not only as an educated black man with a platform, but an educated black man with access to all of these other people with platforms who are like-minded just like me and agree with me and are tired of seeing these billionaires, these conservative clowns, these MAGA lunatics absolutely destroying communities. It's you know it's we got to keep on. We got to keep on. And you've been inspiring me, Dr. Greg. I tell you what, with the like I said, with the pumping iron, with the muscle shirts, you know, from the suit to the muscle
It's
shirt.
definitely like it's a depressing time in terms of like civil rights for sure, dude. Like
Yeah.
I think like the Roe decision, the rescinding that, like
Yeah.
how that's had like a huge impact. I mean, I've had um, a a mom who lost her daughter because of that. It's been crazy, dude. And I just think about. I think we have to realize they're getting these things done because they are constructing institutions of like their ideology, and they're
Yeah.
setting them in place, and they've been pushing this for decades.
Yeah.
This isn't like a just they're taking advantage of the institution that has been constructed, through Trump and all that kind of stuff, and but they're taking advantage and they're getting it done. So I think what we have to learn is that we have to build these institutions ourselves. Like we
Yeah.
have to build these structures up so that when the time is right and we just activate, we don't have to be like, hey, who's ready to do this? What are we going to do? It's like, no, we have the institutions set up. This is what we want to do. These are our goals. This is what we want to accomplish. And then as soon as we have that chance, it's all go. I
And
mean, the right is a really, go ahead.
yeah, no, I mean you're hitting it right on the nail on the head. The right, it's inspirational in some capacity what the right has done, because we see, I mean, where do you want to start? We could start in the 70s. We could start with the pre-segregation. I mean, I'm sorry, with the pre-integration, the segregationist movements. We could start with the Confederacy, because essentially that's what we're dealing with today, is the seeds of the Confederacy that was planted that are now, in full effect. So, depending on where you want to point at, regardless, the conservative movement has institutionalized their ideology in American society in a way that we really need to figure out how to encapsulate, especially on the left, because we're fighting up an uphill battle. We're fighting against generations of propaganda. We're fighting against boogeyman words, people thinking that working together and being empathetic to one another is bad, thinking that billionaires should exist. I mean, that in and of itself, the fact that we think billionaires should exist as poor people, that proves how good the propaganda is. For a person making less than $100,000 to think that a billionaire should exist, I mean, honestly, people less than a millionaire thinking billionaires should exist is absolutely bananas to me.
I think the craziest thing is you're exactly right. A billionaire is bad. We have 100 billionaires now, right? You know what I mean? This guy, this Elon Musk is about to have 1,000 billions. You know what I mean? Like, and just one is crazy. You know what I mean? So I think we have to, like, numbers like millions and billions. I feel like we have got to figure out a way to tell and teach people orders of magnitude. Just how vastly rich and gluttonous these people are. It's like, it's wild. It's truly unfathomable how much. And when we're talking about, like, the entire NSF, the National Science Foundation's yearly budget in the Trump the proposed budget is $4 billion. All the institutions of academia and everything, all those publications and scientists and stuff, all ran on $4 billion. Meanwhile, the Trump slush fund for his friends and Jan Sixers is 1.2 billion. Like Elon Musk has gone from 20 billion to 800 billion. You get 100 billion a year. All the Science Foundation amongst everything together is 100 billion.
Let
And
it
so
be.
this guy has a decade, a
Let it
decade
be.
of funds.
Let it be said here right now, with the precedent that the Donald Trump administration has set, not only with the pardoning of the J6ers, but with this reparation fund for our liquidators, for our future liquidators. All right. Just imagine, not only are we getting pardons, just imagine how much are we paying out from this liquidation. I mean, come on now. Like, come on. I don't want to get into it, but
I mean, he basically has shown, like,
he's
you can do
showing what
whatever
can
you
be
need
done. Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
All
you
we
just do
need,
anything necessary.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's exactly it. All we need is someone dumb enough to get on camera and say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna do it. I'm literally gonna do it. I'm gonna swipe my little pen. I'm gonna send y'all some money. We're gonna liquidate. That's all we need." Um, you know, might take a little time. I'm a little young, but
I it's the amount that these guys have taken and how little they give back in taxes, like, is unfathomable.
yeah.
Like, they don't pay income tax. Billionaires do not pay income tax. We pay income tax. They have an amount that they know that we owe, and we pay that amount to the IRS.
If
These
taxes
these guys,
if taxes worked appropriately, billionaires wouldn't exist.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, you just there's they don't pay income tax. They take out loans on the money that they already have through stocks, and then they just daisy chain those together, so they never are taxed. Like, normally, if I was going to have to pay for an item, I would have to sell my stocks, take the cash, That's a billable event. That's a taxation event. That would pay my normal income. If it was a long capital gains, I had it for a year. That's a decrease. That's 15%. Okay, these guys zero. They
Zero.
don't do. They don't have this thing. It's crazy. It's um. And then the crazy thing is too. They're keeping the stock. So as the stock goes up, they're getting more money with it.
Well,
And if they
taking out
lost
more
that
loans.
bet, exactly. And if they lose it, if they lose that money with a good accountant or good tax man, you've basically said, I can write that off as a business expense. It's like you lose it, you it's okay if it's such a joke. These guys have instruments of power that we do not have.
Yep.
Financial instruments that nobody else has.
I give it to them.
It's crazy.
It doesn't even make any sense, you know. Saying it out loud, it sounds silly. It sounds like it's imaginary, like we made it up. But no, that's really what that
Hmm.
happens is, you know, they take money and they just take loans against it, and you know it increases in value. They're just leveraged. They're so over leveraged. I mean,
Hmm.
honestly, just liquidating Elon Musk would bring down so much people because I mean, Elon Musk is he's leveraged up to the tits. This IPO for what's it called? SpaceX is going to
Hmm.
give him the liquidity he needs for sure.
The price, like the share, for the P&E is just insane. I mean, it's
What is
ludicrous. I
it?
mean,
I'm not
it's basically
aware.
like a, oh man,
No, let's look it up
it's
real quick.
ludicrously high.
Yeah,
Ludicrously high. I want to say like 150 or something ridiculous like that. Like MU is like 8. So, so it's like it's ludicrous. Um,
the IPO suggested the valuation will exceed $2 trillion, according to this
yeah.
AI Google overview.
Did you say PE? It's the price of the share per the
No,
expected.
PE ratio. I'm trying to find it.
Mhm. But anyway, the um, I think the best thing that we can do if we want to make change in the world is like get experience trying in roles so that we can execute the plan of um, like legislation that we need to progress things forward
Mm-hmm.
as quickly as possible. Like get people like involved in many as people as involved in politics as possible. I think that's you know it doesn't matter what your ideology is as long as you have like execute like more wisdom in a political system. I think that's going to behoove us no matter what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Not only that, but I mean, I feel like that's what we're trying to do, especially with this platform, is to inspire people not only to get involved, but serve as
Hmm.
somewhat of a de facto uh, news network to help boost any sort of messages that we want to boost. You know, we're still looking for congressional candidates that have an actual chance to be able to make a difference in this cycle. Try to boost them up. Unfortunately, you know, some of the ones that we talked to before, they just, you know, I mean, they were polling 1% and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
understand the point in platforming these people, but at the same time, you know, I like it's a different game. Like if the people aren't resonating with you, then it's a completely different game. Like, you know, we all have time. We're all out here working shifts. We're all doing what we got to do. You know, making time available for people. It's not to say that polling 1% doesn't mean that you're not worth anything, but you know,
Yeah.
they got people fighting the same good fight as you. You know, polling a little bit higher, 50. So, um, I recently reached out to one candidate. Yeah, I don't think she's necessarily polling too high, but she went viral. Um, what was her name? Shelby for Congress. She went viral for
Oh, okay.
twerking. I don't know if anyone had seen
Nice.
that. Um, Shelby
Dude, I
Campbell.
think
That's what it is. Shelby Campbell.
gotcha.
I think she's running in Detroit.
Dude, I think the media, like if the theory of the case in mine is right now, like that these apps and these you know, algorithms are shaping our reality, then politicians that know how to play this game really well are going to excel. You know, because you can really shape and share what people believe about you. So those like viral moments,
Absolutely.
like I think that they're huge. You know, I genuinely do think that, especially if you have a political message, I think it really moves the needle. Like,
Well, I completely agree. That's why we need to make sure
because that,
to uplift people that
yeah,
are saying the things that we want, said, and have the networks and things like that available to, make sure that those people can
mm,
plug in.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And the experience. So when people go viral and they get all these followers, we can help, hey, look, this is how you monetize. This is how you maintain content. This is how you come up with content plans. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. Here's some friends. So making content is easy because just talking to your friends online,
hmm,
is content. It's all content, baby.
dude, friggin', it's been so awesome. I've been so humbled, man. The anti-fascist frog has been hanging out in my life. He's got like an American hero, and it was just like so cool. I mean, I met him through you, obviously, and it was it's been cool. He's just been. I think like moments like that are so perfect because it's like something that you can tell and talk to your kids about,
Yeah. You
you know.
can
And they
point to
asked
a
me about
picture.
the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's huge.
Well,
Like those are because I can. My kids understand it. You know what
yeah.
I mean? They're watching Star Wars right now, and one guy's dressed up as like a frog chilling, and this other guy looks like a freaking stormtrooper. You know, and it's like they know exactly the imagery.
If a
It's
picture
just beautiful.
if a picture of Antifa Frog is not in a history book, you can have my word right here on the Propaganda Factory Network. We'll write a Propaganda Factory history book. I'm actually really good at American history.
Yes.
I don't want to brag. I'm actually really good
Hmm.
at American history. Took AP U.S.
Okay.
history in high school. Got a 5 on the exam. One of the few people.
Damn.
One of the few
Okay.
people in my state
Chill.
that did that.
Chill,
Uh,
dude. Chill.
I'd be nerding out on U.S. history just for fun. I'd be watching the Civil War videos. That's my.
Okay.
For the last like 6 months, I've just been watching like every single battle of the Civil War, like from freaking like
No way.
2 to 4 a.m. Uh, yeah, that's how
Dude,
nerdy
what
I am, man.
what's your favorite fact about American history?
My favorite fact about American history. That's a tough one because
Hmm.
I'm half black and I'm half white. So
Yeah.
my white side. My black side, though, my black side, we
Yeah.
definitely have some concerns about the course of history. But
Yeah.
if
Obviously,
I
yeah.
had to pick subjectively, I would say honestly, I would probably say subjectively like the freeing of the slaves and
Hmm.
uh the true forward momentum of the realization of what America is supposed to mean as a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-gendered, society. And I know that, with 1865 that women still couldn't vote. It was a long march to
Yeah.
1919, but regardless of that, I feel like that, the Emancipation Proclamation of what's it called, 63
Hmm.
and freaking the 13th Amendment, 14th Amendment, African
Yeah.
boys
Dude, I was gonna say
assassination.
that. That
I
the
think that
13th
was the
and
biggest
14th
thing.
Amendment.
I think
Crazy.
honestly, because I was just watching a video about this, because Johnson was a Southern Democrat, and he was one of the only senators that stayed in the Congress, and so that's like the only reason he was the VP, because it was kind of like they were trying to do this unity ticket
Hmm.
BS. So like he was actually never supposed to be president. He was like really racist. He And for him to even make it a condition for Southern states to accept the 13th Amendment, I mean, that in and of itself, for this, like, I mean, honestly, a supremacist guy, and I'm not sitting here saying that Andrew Johnson was a great guy or anything. Don't misconstrue what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But, from a historical perspective, for him to make it a condition for the Southern states to re-enter the Union by accepting the 13th Amendment, that was, he didn't have to do that, and he did that. And then not only that, but the ratification of the 14th and 15th Amendments after Lincoln's assassination. I think it was a time in the country, it was a very tumultuous time, not only that, because when we look at what was happening, but especially where I live, and we zoom into what was happening on the ground in the Deep South, the dream was alive, but the reality was very, very opposite of the dream. And I guess the long march to the realization of that dream with the Civil Rights Acts in the 60s and the ability for, unfettered multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-general democracy to really flourish. So all of that to say that I can't point to a particular moment, but what I can point to in America is the capacity to move towards just everyone being able to participate in democracy in a way that representation actually is real and not, rich white people. But don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of that. We're just moving in the right direction. And I think that is the overarching trajectory of the country, is we're moving towards what we're supposed to move towards, but there's a lot of people in the country that's trying to like not let it move towards that, most of the times for economic reasons.
Yeah, dude, the 13th Amendment, it is wild how many Supreme Court cases are based on 13th Amendment violations.
Yeah.
Like Roe is one, like for example. So it's really, really interesting. Like just the judicial history after that is that brings in that like real liberal area, like at the era in the court, and just like kind of like a re-understanding of what our Constitution entails for a lot of people. And it's really sad because that's the exact era that's like being deconstructed right now with all the
Exactly.
civil rights stuff that's going on.
And so
And you're like, damn, bro, it's like literally going back to the Civil War. Like we are deconstructing, we're going through a second deconstruction.
that's, well, what's actually happening, if I can point to it in the most perfect explanation, is that what happened after the Civil War is the South was immediately allowed to stop the Reconstruction and like re-solidify and like the supremacy for another 40, 50, 60, 70 years. And so because of that, that's the political movement that we're dealing with right now, is right
Exactly.
after the Civil War. It wasn't handled appropriately, and those people were allowed to reintegrate into political power and those ideas,
Yep.
because you can't, in America, we can't ban ideas. We're supposed to be able to try to negate them with good conversation, better propaganda, whatever. But unfortunately, it's not like the people in the North were just like magically not racist. They were racist too. Like white supremacy and racism was very prevalent in the country. So, it's just tough. But like I said, I think we're moving in the right direction because, there's more Spanish people. So, the numbers are coming down. Some numbers are going up. And,
Yeah.
things are moving in the right direction.
I mean, the percentage of Hispanic people voting for Trump, though, was insane, man. It was like, it's not a majority by any means, but like a higher percentage than people had seen since like I think it's George W. Bush,
Yeah.
which is wild. But like,
I think that
so it's surprising to me.
I think that for multiple things. Number one, Hispanic men with machismo and things like that voting for a woman. Unfortunately, very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Secondly, they thought he'd be good with the economy, but we look at, God, I just paid so much money for gasoline. Gasoline was almost $2 where I lived just a few weeks ago. You know, it seems like so long ago. We've been at war, what, almost 2, 3 months now. Spending so much money. Gosh, with just the money we've spent in Iran so far, we could have eliminated all school lunch debt
So
in
wild.
America. Every child in America could have
So,
eaten for free for 2026 just with the money that it cost us to wipe out that poor school in Iran. Um,
exactly.
you know, we look.
I I really do feel. Oh, go ahead. Go.
No, I was just gonna say we look at
Yeah.
that example right there, and we see a country whose priorities are just not in order. You know, like why do we live in a country with student lunch debt, but we're dropping the most expensive weaponry that has ever been assembled in human history? It just doesn't make any
Hmm.
sense to me. I can't understand it. I'm just a simple chemist, though, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing the right math.
Yeah. I mean, like, democracy is my fundamental like political belief. I want more democracy at work, in the community, local community, city, nation. Everywhere. Like, I really do think that it's incredibly important. But I wrestle with like what I see the democratic elements of the 1787 Constitution versus the Constitution that's written now. And it's like maybe the Constitution that I saw before is dead, and that like the one that's been rewritten for by Chief Justice John Roberts with presidential immunity and this broad way that with national defense you can just national defense, and the
Yeah.
president basically can do whatever they want. So it's like
Um,
maybe we want Gavin Newsom to declare a friggin' national defense on um, obesity, and then we can have universal health care on that. You know what I mean?
honestly,
Like,
I mean that. Look, that's what I'm saying.
what is it?
That's all it
Why not?
takes.
Like,
All
what
it
do we?
takes is the right person to get in there and be crazy enough to do these things. Because that's if there's anything that the Trump administration has taught us is that when we want to do it, we can do it. It only matters who we want to do it for. So if we want to do it for billionaires and rich companies and people who buy our freaking golden shoes and whatnot, or we want to rip off people with the golden phones, like we're going to do it. You know, if we want to be exempt for generations, for the rest of our bloodline, we want to be tax exempt, we're going to do that. We're going to commit fraud, and we're going to get a sweetheart deal in writing from our own government. You know, we look
Hmm.
it if you were to say, if there was a headline that came out that said that Vladimir Putin did this, I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So the fact that something like this just
Yeah.
happened in America is the most absolute insane thing that uh, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. The average Trump voter makes like 60 grand, if that, 50 grand, probably
Mm.
even less, you know? I don't know. I'm just pulling this number out of my head. But I feel like the median income in my state is like 40 grand. So like,
I really like I don't. I'm trying to merge my theory of like class consciousness and the idea that these people are like being exploited, um and I'm trying to understand how I can have pity for them when they are so there's you can be exploited without like loving it and being like this servitude and this like thank you daddy thing that they do. It's like this cultish thing that it's like
as
I don't know if I can get
someone,
over that part.
as
It's so
someone,
weird.
as someone who lives in conservative country, I can tell you that majority of the Trump people, they fall into three buckets. One, they're not very bright. Two, they're not very involved. And three, they are just so uneducated in terms of what like actually is like happening in political world. And unfortunately, you
Hmm.
know, the Democrats don't give it's not like they have a better alternative. I mean, like we have a billionaire problem on both sides, so it's not like we can sit here and point to one side and be like, this is better for working class people. Um, and I think that's really the problem, and why they're able to keep winning and doing these things, and why poor people think that Elon Musk becoming a trillionaire is somehow good for them. Um,
Hmm.
I don't get it.
I, I really do think, billionaires, I can see it in like Obama, that era, because the tech billionaires were like Democrats or something. Do you think that they're grifting, like,
Yes.
and they're just going to go back and forth no matter
Yes.
what,
Yes. Because
or is it like a
you have to think you when you have money like that, you're beyond politics. You only think
yeah,
about profits and making and maintaining your money. So it actually doesn't matter who's in political power. You're going to do whatever you need to do to make sure that you're in their good graces. And so, yes, they are grifting. Absolutely. 100%.
yeah. I think I agree with you. I can see why they would want to do it in the Obama administration, because they were explicitly being offered, you know, um, tax breaks and money, that kind of thing. And then under the Trump administration, I can see them liking it because it's just rampantly corrupt, and that it's easy for them to manipulate. But it's going to be interesting to see how and if they like swap back to Democrat again,
Well,
and
I would
like, you know what
say,
I mean? I
yeah,
don't
no,
think
no,
that
no,
people are gonna
absolutely.
like that. I don't think people are gonna be like, wait a second, no, you just supported Trump and you were trying to dismantle our country. Like, I really feels different this time for me. I don't know.
So when you look at people like Jeff Bezos, Tim Cook, Mark Zuckerberg,
Yeah.
if they happen to be going to the next Democratic inauguration, or if they're donating money to the Democratic Party, I don't necessarily think that people are gonna, because the liberals have a very, I mean, look, liberals are literally simping for Thomas Massey right now. They are simping for Thomas Massey, so I mean, it's just a
Mm.
thing with them. Um, I understand what you're saying. So you look at Elon Musk, for example. I would say that maybe his bridges are burned, but money's money, and
Hmm. Yeah.
the people of the government, like, money's money, and so they're not going to necessarily care, probably, because money is power, and power is what they want, and they're all psychopaths. So we just need to get some psychopaths in there for the working class people. Like, we need people who are absolutely fanatic and psychopathic for improving working class lives. I mean, you look at Mom Domney. He's doing a good job in New York. He's improving working class lives.
Mm.
People's lives are actually improving I mean, it hasn't even been that long, and he's making substantial progress. Balancing the budget. The buses and the
Mm.
trains are running on time. The snow, when they had the snowstorm, he was literally, and the propaganda cuts. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It's incredible.
The
It's
propaganda cuts.
incredible.
We are seeing an absolute masterclass in propaganda
Yeah.
coming out of New York City. And I'm not sitting here saying like it's a bad thing. Like, it is a good thing because the messaging is
Yep.
effective. He's showing what can happen when government works for you instead of for the billionaires. Um, and the propaganda cuts are just good. Like, it I have never seen it's probably like Mom Domney propaganda cuts is like the BTS of propaganda. It's the highest level of production. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't get any better than that right now.
And what's crazy is that he really isn't passing anything radical. I mean, like, he's doing a lot of stuff that we already have in California, which is cool. I'm like happy for New York, but I'm like, it's not like this crazy, like the fear mongering before and all that kind of stuff. And the Republicans were so funny, but I think it's the perception is that like things are happening. Well, see, the thing is, Michelle, it's not free childcare. It was free pre TK, universal TK and pre-K, I think.
Yeah.
That's what so it's not like free childcare would be like working families have childcare
Yeah.
after school for elementary school kids, and they don't have to like
I mean, to be
they don't have
fair,
to pay for that.
to be
You know what I
fair,
mean? I think that's what I would think of.
public school is free childcare. If we're being 100% honest, public school is free childcare.
Yeah, but the problem is that they only go for 6 hours, and everyone works 8 and then commutes an hour. So they need their kids to be watched for 9, and they're only at school for 6.
It sounds like
So it's like, what do you do
we
that
need
extra
a
3 hours?
mandatory 5-hour workday.
Exactly.
Sounds like what we need, but teachers have to work 6, unfortunately, because we need,
So
everyone commutes an hour.
yeah, yeah. It's tough, man. It's impossible. Like that. I love what he's doing, but I do. Yeah, it is really funny, the reaction to like seeing like what's happening. Um, and I think if I was a DSA organizer, like if I was running the DSA, 90% of your funds are going to Mamdani and helping him.
Yeah,
Like Mamdani right now is the future face
of the
of
DSA for sure.
progressive politics. Like
Yeah,
if you want to see government work and you want to see a better tomorrow through legislation and
yeah.
a strong executive branch, this Mamdani is your model right now. He is your template. Like he is the shining star.
The
So
fact
we
that
have
it's
to help him.
happening in the biggest city in the country too is
Yeah.
in and of itself really making the case that these types of things can happen, like in big states. I mean, man, I'm not going to lie to you. In my state, if we were to retool our tax code and really, cuz like my state, we got something that other states don't have. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like we got a fucking river, okay? Like they can't take that shit away from us. We can tax so much. So much. We can tax and tax. Because guess what you gonna do? You go move this shit? We got a fucking river. You can't move nothing. You go pay for these schools. You go pay for these roads. And if you upset about it, oh well. Because guess what? You'll leave. We'll get someone else to come on in and run this show right here on the river. Because it's the most lucrative river in the country. So, you know, I don't understand why we just give money away. To me, it seems like it would be common sense that us coming together and putting money together to pay for things as a community, like what else is the point of government if not to do that? I don't understand what people think. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Um, I'm trying. I really am, I just, especially again, as someone who lives in an extremely conservative place,
Mhm.
people just, they vote against their interests. But the Democrats aren't offering anything better, They really aren't.
Uh, yeah, I really like. I think they are now. I think that we're on the side of Republicans and MAGA being literal fascism. Like, I think I can understand what you mean
But see,
from like
that's the
an
problem
academic
though.
sense.
That's the problem though, Dr.
Hmm.
Greg, is that when we're to the point that it's like, hey, the other side is literal fascists, like
Hmm.
the Democrats, that they're pretty much saying like we can do whatever we want as long as we're not doing that fascism, and it still kind of is like fascism. Like when we're really getting into
Hmm.
what a democratic, living under a capitalist democratic administration is, it's pretty much exactly like this. Think about it. If Kamala Harris was president, we probably would have done the same thing in Iran. It just wouldn't have been live tweeted.
No,
It just wouldn't have been live
I don't
tweeted.
think so.
Listen to me,
No, I don't
Dr.
think
Greg.
so.
Dr. Greg,
No.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
you, I am telling you, and I know I'm not putting it like, oh, they're exactly the same.
Mm.
You have to think from a military planning perspective. These plans existed, okay? These plans existed. I don't know if we would have did. Honestly, we probably would have did the both of the things in Iran. Like it. This might sound
But
far
we know how
fetched to
it
you, bro, but
we
like
but it's we
it's
know how
just
it
the
happened.
messaging
Like
would have
we
been different. I'm telling you, and the messaging would have seemed much more professional, and we would have accepted it
uh
because it would have been different. Like the way that Trump
we
announced, like, so if we look at the first bombing, the first one that happened, and he was like, oh, we did this, and if they retaliate, we're gonna unleash hell on them, whatever he said, something stupid like that, okay?
Hmm.
You take a Kamala Harris administration, that exact same attack, and she comes on and is like, this is what we did. We neutralized this. We stopped them from being able to do this. They won't be able to do that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm the fucking president. You know what I mean? Like, and we would have been like, oh, that was, good job. Like, did a good thing. Like, Israel. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you.
They wouldn't have gotten into that position. I mean, Obama did attack Iran, but it was through the centrifuges. But and so it was like a computer based attack, the infrastructure, and then they did, um, you know, there it had a deal. I don't know the details of it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then Trump did. Sorry, and then Biden was offered uh, the same blueprint. Like Israel offered the same thing to Biden, I thought, and they said no. They like turned it
I'm,
down. They like didn't make
I'm
any sense. So
sure,
it's like,
I'm sure that they did, but like,
mhm.
the thing about it too is whenever you look at Iran, you have to make sure you're including the China perspective. And so like the growing thing with China is still going to happen. Like what we're doing in Iran and the destabilization of Iran and Venezuela is really for the control of the oil flow that's going to China. Um, and
Mhm.
so those problems would have still existed geopolitically and the solutions are still the same. Unfortunately, when we're looking at imperialist America and what furthers the empire, that is, that just kind of is what it is. So regardless of the
For
president
sure, I
that's
think
in
that's
there,
happening.
so regardless of I don't think we
Yeah,
would have kidnapped Maduro in a Kamala Harris
yeah,
administration, but I think that it probably would have had some sort of focus on Venezuela in some sort of way, for sure. I don't think I don't know. I don't know if we would have took out the dude in Iran. I don't know if we would have took out the supreme leader. I think we would
I
have, though. I'm
definitely
not gonna
think.
lie. I think we would
I
have.
think.
It's America, baby. We've done it before. We can do it again.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that like Trump was definitely like war gamed a scenario where it's like we need the oil. This is what you do. We go over this guy, then this, and it's like this movie thing that was like offered to him,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, we are gonna run out of oil in this many years. You could solidify yourself as the best president of all time by getting us the resources that we need in order to run these AI data centers and all this kind of stuff. And I do think that he has this might is right mentality on top of that, right? So then it's just someone pitched him imperialism and he had never heard it before and he was like, this is a great idea. So he was like,
Imperialist
yeah, I
mentality.
will. Yeah,
Oh
yeah, exactly.
God.
So and but I do think that the United States, other than the annexation of Hawaii, like since then, I do feel like we aren't explicitly imperialists on our foreign policy. Like I
Ah.
think we aren't taking land. You know
Okay,
what I
but
mean? We're not
so
creating
so
land.
you have to look. Okay, so the imperialization has changed. It's not about the land. You have to
Hmm.
look about the dollar. So if look at the
Hmm.
expansion of the US dollar and how it's integrated into all of the global systems, and that's the new imperialism. And because if you look at the British system, okay, so look at when the British pound was no longer the global currency or whatever, that was based on all of the land, okay? But like America figured out that we don't necessarily need the land because if you have the military, you can control the flow. And when you can control the flow, you can control who is using what to trade. And then when they're all trading in your money, that's the dub. And then not only that, but you have other states using your other countries using your little currency as their currency. That's the dub. So if El Salvador is using US dollars as an official currency, they don't have to be a state of the United States of America. They're still an imperious colony. They're using our dollar. You know what I mean? Like we're not ruling
But
them.
I mean, these countries have a choice. These countries have a choice,
Yes and
right? Whether or
no.
not they
Yes and
invest
no.
in the dollar. I mean,
Yes and
but
no.
like in a time during like if it before the internet, I could just it makes sense to like have a universal trading currency, because it's just like it probably a lot faster. Like now because of blockchain and stuff, it like none of that matters, and we could have like a global currency like right now. Like I think, but I think it would just behoove people that were making contracts to all be on. I don't know. It seems to me. I don't know.
I mean,
How do you think that the United States is pushing people to buy more like USD?
okay, so the most simple answer to that is we have the largest nuclear arsenal in the world. Well, second largest to Russia, but you know
Mm,
what I mean. And we're the largest military force. So like, okay, so off dome. How are we doing it? Because all of the commodity systems that are set up right now settle currency. They settle in USD. So if you trade anything in the world, majority of the flow is already in USD. So when more things are
mm,
produced, when more drops of oil are pulled out of the ground, more countries need to use more USD. And so that's how it's
mm,
the economic system is already in place. And so for every bean that's grown, for every kernel of corn, for every single chemical that's derived and produced to make a fertilizer, all of that, the increase of value is tracked in USD, traded in USD, settled in
mm,
USD, and that's how we're making more people use USD because the system is just it's cyclical. It's feeding it on itself. And we our
mm,
military. So like if we didn't control the crucial points of flow, then we wouldn't be able to make people trade in USD. If Saudi Arabia and other oil trading countries chose to trade in Chinese whatever they call it, and I'm not saying that to be dismissive of it's like something weird. It's like the real or something. I don't know. Uh,
I mean,
but
I do think that we also benefit though from like other countries buying our debt, right? If other countries are
okay,
buying our debt and like
yes
because
and
then there's
no.
like less countries that are like China. Why would China want to see the ending of the United States if they have a bunch of the debt so they're like bought into our economy?
I mean, that's a pretty big esoteric question. To be frank, if
Hmm.
China, like, that's just a number on a balance sheet. So for like a country, China, it's in the economic interest of China for the United States of America to not exist as a country because then China would have more control over all of their regional partners and more global control. And so even though the number on that balance sheet for the debt would go down, like that wouldn't matter to
Hmm.
them. So, when you're working on a grand scale like that, again, the magnitude of numbers, like you brought up earlier, when you're thinking about conceptually the magnitude of numbers, like for a country's balance sheet, like that's just different. You know what I mean? And then if for some reason the United States of America or the global, economic order were to be shifted like that, China would stand to gain so substantially that like any lost value in the debt of the United States, like honestly, China would probably even get California or Hawaii or some shit. You know what I mean? Like so like China's gonna come up for sure. Um in a situation where like America, you know what I mean, like were to falter.
Hmm.
Um and so in that sense, it is in their it would always be in their economic interest. If we look at a smaller country or someone who doesn't have more control, like a Germany or the United Kingdom would be a great example. It would be horrible for the
Hmm.
United Kingdom if America faltered because the United Kingdom no longer has the military power that it once does or the economic control to be able to control their own destiny. Their GDP isn't large enough to compete in the global scale. And so that's what you have to look at. You have to look at the total pie of the world and how big is your pie. And because America's pie is still so big, we still get to control our own destiny. And so again, when those smaller countries, what makes them use the dollar is that their economies aren't big enough to control their own destinies. I mean, we could break that down to a human and an individual level. If you can't put a
Yeah.
roof over your own head, you cannot control your own destiny. Other people are choosing how you live your life, or you're making choices under duress about your life because you can't even put a roof over your head. So same concept, just on a bigger scale.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, having a stable currency is definitely nice. I mean, it was interesting. TikTok creators are, as you know, are paid on like on PayPal, and
Mm-hmm.
I I
I,
just put like at the beginning like my first $100 or something
mm-hmm.
to like a Solana or something, one of the cryptos,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like minus 60% since I bought it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so funny. I mean, that's that, but you get paid in blockchain and stuff. You would get paid in stable coin. You wouldn't get paid in like Solana, but you know what I
Well,
mean? I
it
was thinking
depends. It
about that.
depends.
Like, oh my gosh.
It depends what your contract is,
Hmm.
because that was one of the things, is that a lot of these blockchain companies were paying out money in whatever their shitcoin was, and so when it
Hmm.
liquidated, all of that value was gone for the workers and things like that. And that's very interesting that you say that TikTok creators get paid on PayPal. That's actually one of the reasons I
Hmm.
bought some stock in PayPal in my retirement account. I'm down like
Nice.
40 or 50%, maybe 60%.
Yeah.
But I'm holding because it's my retirement account. And honestly, PayPal is not going
Yeah.
anywhere. It's going to either get acquired or it's going to get better. Like, I use PayPal all the time. Like, a lot of people use PayPal all the time. Like, it's a very
Hmm.
integrated service into the, internet economy. And I mean, TikTok is paying
Yep.
all of its creators via PayPal. So that in and of itself, TikTok's literally making payroll with this thing. So,
Hmm.
I think that Stripe was talking about buying it, so that'd be good for my retirement account. What would also be good for my retirement account? Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out, so when those pre-orders drop, make sure that you buy the most expensive version possible, because all of us are old now, and even though this economy is tough and
Live it
gas
up.
is expensive, Grand Theft Auto 6 only happens once every like 15 years or whatever. Uh, who would have thought that Grand
Dude,
Theft Auto would have literal astronomical uh, frequency? You know,
I'll tell you something, dude. I've never played GTA 5.
really.
Never played it. Yeah, I
Well,
play. I think my last one that I played San Andreas is GTA 4.
we are going to be live streaming GTA 6, Dr. Greg, because you have a platform now.
Yeah,
We're going to be talking
I think I
politics
might
and
get it.
fucking around. You're going to have to
I
get
think
it.
we might get it.
I need you to
Yeah,
get it
yeah.
because I have some shares in my
You want
retirement account. That's what I'm depending on for my kids to go to college. I'm going to need to liquidate
to,
those
dude.
GTA shares in my IRA. So,
You know what's funny, man, is that like as I get older, I appreciate and love the role play like more and more. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like just having fun with it, like being weird, the comedy of it, the
Yeah.
improv. Like it's beautiful. It's so it's so good.
No, I mean,
Just
I enjoy
yeah,
that of
any
gaming.
game.
And then I that's kind of why I like the whole like being online thing too. I'm gonna start doing it more because this has been so enjoyable tonight. And it
Mm.
reminds me that I actually like really like this, and I like speaking, and I'm good at it, and all the things. Um, but playing like video games like with your friends and stuff like that, there is so much improv that goes on. Like not only in the moments of what's happening and you trying to get out of the situations, but just talking and communicating with each other. Um, Man, and
Mm.
that brings me to my friend who I lost recently, my friend Lenny,
Mm.
who I played a lot of
Sorry,
hours of
man.
video games with, and a lot of memories. And so even talking about that, it kind of gets me emotional because so much of my video game time was spent with a friend who's no longer with me. But with that being said, yeah, the role playing aspect of it as you're getting older, living vicariously through other people. And Dr. Greg, I wanted to mention too, with the ramp up of the platform that we're going through right now. Um, I'm going to
Mm.
be getting into like clipping and like clip farming and stuff like that. So I'm setting up like a little clip farm for my people. So I would suggest that you maybe try to do that
Nice.
because I know that you have your little Discord and I know that you have some good
Mm.
fans. And especially with the 501c, what's the name for it? What was the name that you had settled on?
Science and freedom for everyone, and then
Yes.
the acronym is SAFE.
Yes.
So like, yeah, that's so there'd be like safe legislation,
Yes.
safe, like idea. Yeah.
I'm gonna be sure, we're gonna be sure to be like not only plugging and promoting, but in terms of like
Thanks, man.
future music and stuff like that, we're gonna figure out ways to like integrate little subliminal safe messages. Uh and
Yeah, dude, I love that.
you was talking about a little jingle. You wanted a little jingle for your show, huh?
That would be cool. Yeah, for like my show, that would be sick. But my um, the foundation we're gonna use like as many artists as we can for the merch and go
Yeah.
like union made. Like it will be full on and like going and embracing humans in those endeavors for sure. I do use AI personally. I've been doing like a lot of AI development myself, but like I do really think that, I mean, especially for a nonprofit, I think it's really important. It's like a strong message to pay it forward and really, um, yeah,
AI
to do what you
using
can.
AI is acceptable if you're not putting out AI
Hmm.
product and AI slop. So like I
Hmm.
use it as
Yeah.
like a calculator because like
Uh-huh.
I'm like, or I'll use it to analyze things that I've done already, or like for coding because I'm not like a coder. So like sometimes I'll be doing things with coding, but that's just completely different because I'm not like a coder. But I'm
Hmm.
not like generate this to send to a human to analyze, or generate this picture to that's actual slop. It'll be like I have, because I write a lot, and so I'll have like a couple of sentences, and I'm like score this or rank this or whatever, so I can like see the weakness. Like I don't need it to fix it. Like I want it, I just want subjective feedback, and then I can be like, oh yeah, and let me tweak this, and now like how are we looking and whatnot. Or I can use it to be like super critical. um I can use it to consume large amounts of data and find like highlighted
Hmm.
points for me and things like that, so I can go in like source reference material. um yeah, but the slop, I'm so tired of the slop right now.
Yeah, I think it's really good I think it's really good in places, and we need to learn as like a movement how we can best leverage AI. You know what I mean? Like for the people's
Yes.
power, I think,
Yes.
as opposed to like handing as much power over to it as possible. Like in jujitsu, there's places where you can put 1% of your energy versus their 100% of your energy, and that 1% of your energy can overpower that other person.
Yeah, the
So like
leverage.
we have to figure
Absolutely.
out how exactly how are we going to do that against the power of a billionaire?
Well,
We need the tools 100% a billion, because they're going to give us 100%.
yeah.
The billionaires are going to give us 100% of
Absolutely.
their power. So
Absolutely.
we got to figure out how are we going to like leverage jujitsu this,
And
and
that's
and I do think like AI could help maybe.
I mean, it'll play its part for sure, but for me,
Mm,
I think that that's where people like you and every one of us come into play, as that we will be the conduits for the people to fight back against the billionaires, not only with being public, but you look at the things that you have going to fight for the people. You're literally creating something out of nothing, and who knows where that can be in 5 to 10 years. We could literally be
yeah.
running the DNC. We can literally be, you could be front row at my inauguration. Who knows how crazy this country can be in a few years. But with that being said, it it all goes hand in hand in the greater quest for fighting for the people in whatever way that we see fit. Um, and I think that's one of the magical things about it, is that we have so many people that are coming up with unique ways to do that. You actually getting on the ground, doing some nitty gritty with your actual, I mean, official, on paper, you know uh
IRS official.
IRS official, you know and so, I
Yeah.
mean, it all goes hand in hand, you know. And I think especially
Mm.
by the end of this year, I think we're going to be in a really solid place to make some good momentum for the midterms. And then after that, I mean, not the midterms. Sorry, the midterms happen this year. I think we're going to see some really good push though in that third year, because we just there's so much momentum right now. Like even with the liberal creators and whatnot, they're having great momentum going around the country and doing their little things. So as long as we can continue to capitalize, continue to grow, continue to stay with good messaging and effective results, like your group continuing to grow, I really think that we're going to see things moving in a better direction, and especially with so many
Mm.
people being as creative as possible to I mean, when you look at the videos on the internet, just the level of satire for this administration and all administrations and the billionaires and the people in power, like it's just at such a high level, and just it's very obvious that things are palpable, very palpable.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and be wrapping here, Dr. Greg, because I want to go
Okay.
chill and relax. I'm gonna have to cut another one here in like 12 hours, so I'm starting back strong. But
Nice, bro.
I'll have you on for another show
Dude,
probably in a couple weeks. Like we don't have to, be strangers all the
hell
time.
yeah.
And I know your show is a
Okay.
little. You've been doing a little different stuff. So mine. I like to just be talking and shit.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'll
for
be
sure, man.
posting
Thank you
in a
for having
lot
it
of
out.
places.
Yeah, dude, thank you for sharing your music with me and the world. I think it's like you're an inspiration for me, man. And like
I appreciate that.
it's not it's so hard to put music that you've made out there, man. Like for
Yeah,
me, it's like it is. You know what I mean? It is. You're sharing so much of yourself and your
yeah.
so many hours,
It is
and
really
you're. It's like
hard.
it's a real artist.
And like the first song on the way to the store right now, I've already like because I sent the file and then I went back and listened to it. I was like, oh, this is messed up. I got to fix this. Got to fix that. And then I fixed that. And then I'm getting ready to like resend and I'm like, oh, I got to fix this. Got to fix that. But it's like no, like after tomorrow, no more fixes. It's pretty much good. Send it. It's done. That's it. That's it.
Nice.
Live with it. Move on. Finish the rest of the album. And just live with it, man. Because like that's the thing about it. It's never going to be perfect, and I'm not like a full fledged music producer. Like I'll be producing my ass off, but I'm not like fucking Rick Rubin or whatever. I don't even know
No,
that much.
that's what I'm saying. It's like it is it's raw. It's
Yeah,
good.
it's
That's what's so
gritty,
fun about it, you
bro.
know?
Look, we talked about him
Yeah.
earlier.
It's
We talked
different.
about him earlier. The freaking
American
frog,
legend.
American legend, bro.
The freaking
American legend. I ain't been streaming in a
yeah.
minute, so the fact that my boy hopped on in,
Dude, that's sick.
it makes me feel really good. But
Yeah, bro. I was just telling him my kids like saw your shirt and we were talking about it because my kid's into Star Wars right now. So like that imagery would just really resonated with him, and we had like a conversation about it. So it was really cool. You know what's crazy is that my my 9 year old, all him and all of his friends all hate Trump.
yeah,
Just dog on him. And I'm like, that's so interesting. Like they make fun of him, like, and all this. It's just, I'm like, because I don't share the side, that adult feelings, because I don't want my kids to see me.
right, right,
Like,
right. No, I
you know what I mean?
understand.
Like
I
I hate how
understand.
much I hate this guy.
You
You know
want
what I
them
mean?
to form
But he comes it.
opinions themselves, but at the same time, like you give them the right stuff. But yeah, you do want them to form their
Yeah,
opinions.
yeah, yeah. We'll get you some feelers. So, and so, dude, I'm like, whoa. And then, but yeah, so we were talking about it because of my shirt, and it was, yeah, dude. I think, bro, the worst thing that we can feel right now is deterred, like your like music like yours, like with like the political imagery, the memes that people are making, the time, like the on the social media and these algorithms. Like I think it's only going to go up from here, man. Like I really do. I really think it's only going to be an exponential impact.
Yeah, no, same. And I mean, that's why I wish I didn't realize like making music and doing all of this was like so just like energy consuming. Like I kind of thought like I was gonna be able to like do it all, but it's a
Hmm.
lot, and I kind of like really like making
Yeah.
music. So like in terms of like my free time, it's like, do I hop on a pod? Do I make video content? Do I make music? Like it's just so much more casual. Like I
Hmm.
just have to open my laptop, and before you know it, I got a beat, and I'm like screwing around. And so
Hmm.
you know, but with that being said, I'm so happy and excited and proud to be like putting out like a music project for like a platform that I've taken so much time and energy to build over the years, and then to build like a music project that is like me, and me in so many different ways. It's like me in the raw gritty emotional way, me and like the having
Hmm.
fun kind of party guy way, me in the these motherfucking billionaires need to be on notice type of way. um I feel
Yeah,
like this
dude.
project is just, it's not only me, but it's like it's us. It's like, because the platform, there is no platform, there's no propaganda factory with like people, without people like following and like actually having a good time. And
Yeah.
even though I've been MIA with like live streaming and like putting out a lot of content, like I mean I still get millions of views a month, like just screwing around.
Yeah.
So like,
Damn, dude, that's wild.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
so
I'm
cool,
still pulling
dude.
like a
That
million on Facebook, sometimes 2 million, like just
damn,
not even
the
doing
people want
anything.
it.
Yeah, they want it. So
The
like, what am
people
I
are
supposed to?
hungry.
Hey, I gotta give the people what they want. Gotta give them what they want. They want
Yeah,
more
dude.
face. They want more
That's legit,
voice.
dude.
They want more liquidate. We're gonna liquidate. I gotta give them as much liquidate as they can take. You know. So
Dude, I my Facebook feed is all like I just get all in the anti-vax stuff. They like just hundreds of comments just going after me. It's so funny. I don't know how my algorithm like it just keeps getting pushed there, but it's the most toxic like comment. Like it's so funny.
no, man, for sure.
You got the good side of Facebook, dude. You got the fans.
Hey, I'm trying, man. It took a long time. It was
Yeah, dude, that's
a
sick.
lot of hate for a long time, but now, yeah,
Mm,
it's just so cool because like even though I'm like some of the posts I don't even be getting a lot of likes and whatnot. Sometimes I do. Like I just it's because you never know. Like that's why I just like posting black
mhm,
and white posts or just like regular videos because and I starve the algorithm. To be fair, like I'll starve the algorithm for a while, so like I know that the numbers are
mhm.
real. Because it's like if I haven't been posting and I'm posting a little bit and I'm doing 1 million a month, like this is real. Like this isn't BS. This isn't me like screwing around and I'm just lucky. Like no, like I know what I'm doing. I know how to talk. I know how to do. You know what I mean? It's a little bit validating
Yeah,
because I can tell you
nice, dude.
because you've been in the content game for a while, so I know that you've already seen your peak numbers and you're probably like below your peak now, and it's really hard
Yeah.
mentally to exist below the peak because like you don't feel successful because you know that you've seen better numbers. But I can tell you the easiest way to have a good perception of your success is to compare your numbers to fucking zero. That's the easiest way to do it because most of these people are not out here fucking making content. Most of these people are not out here like speaking to people or have a platform or doing anything like that. And so when you compare it to zero, it's like I'm doing 100,000 views a month. Like that's a lot. I'm doing 10,000 views a month. Like that's actually a lot. Like
Hmm.
it is a lot. Like you know,
Yeah, it's
doing
legit. That's a lot. Is a lot of views, man. It's funny because like I get accused of being like a farmer shiller or whatever constantly, and um, it's weird when you when being in this content creation thing when it's like it really is just I'm just sitting on my couch talking to you on my phone.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm
That's
in
just
my
all we're
kitchen.
doing right now. We're
Doesn't
just
look like it, but
yeah,
I'm in
we're
the
hanging
kitchen.
out. We're hanging out like yeah, it's like as if
Relax.
we were blowing trees, like we hanging out on a freaking Friday night after work, like having the same conversation, bro. But it's just like through this video chat in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I
it's
think that's the
wild, dude.
difference too. That's the difference is that before things like this didn't exist, and the fact that they exist now, as long as the right people are having the right conversations and people are allowed to come in and
Mm-hmm.
listen, I think that's the difference between what we have now and what we want to achieve in the future.
Beautiful. I
Yeah.
totally agree, man.
With that, let me go, Gregory. Let me go. You have a great night, buddy. I
Dude, it's
really
great
do
talking, man.
appreciate you.
All right, man. Have a good one.
With that, everyone, let me go ahead and again just make sure to remind everyone. I know we talked about it a little bit, but we do have the Propaganda Factory album that will be coming out. We have our first single, I'm Trying, that is dropping on June 5th. I got to resend the audio file for that. We also have a lot of unreleased music that, so the show is going to be different. We're going to be talking to people tomorrow. We're talking to East Coast Notes, which reminder I have to make sure to confirm the right time zone because we're in different time zones. Um, that's going to be my B if I screw that up. So if you hear this, Coasty, I'm sorry about that. That's going to be my B if I screw it up. But we're probably going to be talking music tomorrow because he's, making music, and I definitely have a lot of things that I want to talk about with him. And he has a hot song that he has coming out, and they have hot music too. The Atomic Wranglers out of New York, but we also have other guests that we're trying to line up. We're trying to get Joey on. I need to email Joeman, our boy Joey, that Joey, different Joey. We got a lot of Joeys, but yeah. With that, everybody, I do appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate you coming to the platform. I appreciate you staying sick, left, and radical, especially in this political climate. Stay safe, stay subversive, stay hydrated, stay all the things. We'll be back tomorrow, so enjoy. And this will be in the feeds tomorrow, and East Coast it's will probably be posted like the next day. So stay tuned for the lives. Try to stay up to date with that. I'm not like posting events or anything, so just be on the lookout. Keep the app open. But all right, everybody, thank you.